We want to talk about the bully stories?
Yeah, I like the bully stories.
Me and Dave and Corey and Nal, we went to get bagels, and for some reason, Dave started talking about bullying people, and it brought up all these memories of
all
bully
these
stories.
fun, like, heart-filled memories of bullying unsuspecting
I was saying
people.
sometimes bullying helps you not be cringy. I hate to say it. I'm not saying bullying is right, but I'm saying
there's a right amount of it. There's an exact right amount. There's when you go too far and it gets wrong, but then there's bullying when you make someone learn to not be like Dave, basically,
not
right?
Be like Dave.
But that's what you said. You were like going up to a guy and being spurgy, and you said that you were pushing him, going, "What?
No, that's
what
true.
you gonna do?
That's true.
What are you gonna do?" And then the guy was like, "I'm giving you a chance. I'm begging you.
You should explain
please
this
stop
story,
before
Dave.
this goes too far."
Yeah,
and you're like, "What are you gonna do, pussy? What are you gonna do?" And then you said he picked you up and he made you upside down.
Yes,
and
yeah.
he slammed you into the tarmac, and you said that you became like crumpled trash.
Right, that's accurate. That's accurate. I was pushing some buttons. I was bothering a dude.
Yeah.
He gave me a chance. I pissed him off. He flipped me upside down in front of the whole class. And then you know what? I realized that maybe you shouldn't spur gun in people's faces.
See, honestly,
be an asshole.
that's not bullying. He was retaliating to your bullying.
I mean, I don't know if you call that bullying.
If
but I
you're
was
going
definitely
up
being
to someone
annoying.
and pushing them and being an asshole, that's kind of bullying.
Chris,
Yeah.
there's one story, because you were talking about how you bullied your teachers. I have a cringy story where there was this, like, you know, you have your main classes and side classes.
Yeah.
In one of my side classes where they were teaching about, what was it? Just like home ec stuff. We had this like little teacher who wasn't that old, and she would teach us stuff. She'd be like, "All right, guys, today we're learning about enamel." And I was like, "What, animals?" Just pretending to be an idiot.
You're a dumb.
And she was like, "No, enamels, you know, on your teeth." And I was like, "There's mammals on your teeth?"
You're fucking
then-
so cringy,
And then,
dude.
yeah, I know, I was being annoying. And then she was like, "No," she's like, "I'm talking about teeth. Now, can you be normal for 1 second?" I was being an asshole. I was being a little snot.
Yeah.
And then she's telling me to shut up because I was being annoying. And the whole class was dead silent. And I gripped my desk and stood as stiff as possible and just fell over and knocked my whole desk over and just landed on the ground.
Yeah.
And then I remember the teacher literally just looked at me and cried.
What did she cry for?
Because I just was being annoying and fell over.
You made a teacher cry. You're a piece of shit.
Yeah, I know. That made me feel pretty bad.
I didn't make my teacher cry.
You fucking electrocuted him onto the ground.
But he like laughed and then he looked really angry and he got up and just like he pretended like nothing happened. It was really bizarre. He was like basically get back to work.
That's equally as bad.
No.
That's equally as... Mine's only bad because it's a girl who cried. I like how she's a pussy. I have an ET story. I don't know if I've said this already or not, though.
Oh, you had that like ET fuck toy? Like, oh wait, go on.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the
keep
ET
going.
fucking own a hole.
yeah.
When I was a kid, my mom was like, "Let's go see ET," and I was like, "No, ET's look how homo he looks." I'm like, "He's all shriveled and brown and gross." I was like, "Advent Children Cloud is cooler."
Like what cooler than
So
ET?
my mom was like, "We're gonna go see ET. We're gonna have a lovely parent bonding moment."
Was it like a re-release or something?
Yeah, it was like a special like 30th anniversary or whatever the fuck. So I didn't get my way. We had to go see E.T.
Yeah.
And then the whole time I was being like a huge brat where I was like, this is really and dumb. And I had my arms crossed. And then my mom was like, no, it's lovely.
Aw.
And so we're watching it. And then as it goes on, I mean, it is a good movie. I got like sucked in. I got invested. So I was like, wait, these Reese's Pieces, that's kind of cool. And then,
I mean, I like Reese's
you know, they
Pieces.
become friends and it's really charming. And then at the end, E.T. gets like AIDS or something and he's dying. And
It's like AIDS.
he becomes a horrible white devil while he's dying.
Yeah.
He gets all the life sucked out of him. He's all gray and ugly.
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
then at that point, I'm like, their friendship, it was so beautiful.
Aww.
And I'm like starting to tear up. But like, I really didn't want to give my mom the satisfaction of knowing that I liked it. I was like, I cannot cry in front of my mom watching E.T. I cannot. Because then I was like, in my brain, my mom would be like, haha, you liked E.T., huh? So I was like, no, I can't do it. So I pulled up my shirt or hoodie or whatever and started like just like lightly crying into my hoodie so my mom wouldn't see. And then my mom was like, it was even worse though, because my mom was like, oh, are you afraid? Are you afraid of little gray dying gay E.T.? And then I didn't want her to see you crying, so I didn't pull my shirt up. And then ever since then, my mom would be like, remember when you were a kid and you cried because you were afraid of E.T.? And I was like, no.
It's like even
Dude,
worse.
that sucked.
I always tell her, I was like, Mom, I was like, I admit it, I liked E.T., I cried because I was sad. But you know, your parents, sometimes they just get a story wrong in their head where no matter what, my mom just tells everybody I cried because I was afraid of E.T.
This game gives me good memories because when I was young, When I was in high school, I would play this on PSP as PS1 Classic, and I would always lay in bed and be so cozy. But my dad, my big dad, what he loved to do is he would he would just come upstairs and he would punch on everyone's fucking doors to just check on us, right? So he would always punch the fucking doors open. So I'd be laying there playing this at night, and then it would be dead quiet, and then my dad would punch the fucking door open and would slam against the wall. I'd be like, "Hey, son, what are you doing?" And I would fucking throw the goddamn thing up in the air every time, make me nearly piss myself. At the time, it made me so angry, but now it's a big endearing memory of my big dad.
He raised the big son.
Thanks, Dad. And I remember when I was young, my uncle gave me a deal where he was like, "Hey, little buddy," he's like, "You got a PlayStation 2, huh?" And I was like, "Uh-huh." Yeah. And he was like, "Oh, but what's that?" He's like, "You got no games." And I was like, I had like Starsky and Hutch and like other gay crap. So he's like, "Here's the deal." He's like, "Have you ever heard of a Nintendo 64?" And I was like, and he's like, "Look," he's like, "I have a Nintendo 64 and all these games."
Whoa.
He's like, "If you let me borrow your PlayStation 2, which was brand new at the time,"
yeah,
he was like, "Any game I buy for it, when I give it back to you, I'll let you have. And in the meantime, you get the N64 and you get to play all the games I have."
Who said this to you?
This is my uncle.
Oh.
So he was just like,
your cool uncle?
he was in his mid-20s, so he just wanted to not have to buy a PlayStation. He just wanted to play a bunch of shit.
Dave, I
Man.
can't get this.
But
is hard.
like, in reality, that was the sweetest deal ever. Because when I was a kid, like this game just reminds me of sitting down and being all cozy, playing like Ocarina of Time was like the main jam. I was too stupid as a kid to play Mario 64. That shit was too hard.
Yeah.
I also played this game that was really gay called Jet Force Gemini. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That game's weird. It's ugly as shit. It kind of gave me like nightmares. It's like really freaky.
That was like Rare's like fucking like big shooter. Like
I
it
love
was
your
such
uncle's
a big
just this
deal.
like conniving bastard.
Yeah, he seems like a
preying
real,
on a
real
small
asshole.
child and like stealing his games console.
There we go.
Did he give you back your PS2?
Yeah, he would. And he
Okay.
he held to his word. He gave me the games he got. So like,
Didn't you say one of your uncles was a complete chode?
oh yeah.
Was
No,
it him?
that's bad memory. No, one of my uncles on my mom's side. This story is so gut-wrenching. When I was a kid, the Wii had a feature, some of you may remember, where you could put SD cards inside of the Wii. So there was one family gathering where I was like, "Everybody, give me your..." Oh, fuck. Where I was like, "Give me your SD card so I can draw on it." So I would take everybody's SD cards and I would like, and I would just draw them like sucking penises and all their pictures and stuff. It was a blast.
Yeah.
But then later, after we all went home and I wasn't at my cousin's house, no more like Nintendo Wii. And then like, my uncle was like, "Hey, buddy, I know that you were asking for SD cards earlier." And he's like, "My wedding photos are gone." He's like, "I can't find my SD card." I was like, "Wow, well, tough shit. I didn't fucking take your SD card."
Like you said that as a kid. Just
Yeah,
to,
I'm
like,
just a cute little 6-year-old. Tough shit. But my family was like, they were like, yeah, they're like, "You better give your uncle his stuff back." And I was like, I literally don't have it. And they're like, "No, you're always naughty. You're always taking stuff you shouldn't." They're like, "Listen, just give it back, okay?" And I was like, "No, I genuinely don't have it." And they were like, "Well, if you're just not going to be cooperative and you're just going to do that, I guess we're just going to have to take your PS2, which, dude, even before the family trip, I was like, should I take my PS2 with me to visit my mom's side of the family? I was like, well, I don't want to have no games, so I guess I'll bring it. But now they took it from me.
Yeah.
And now they're like, well, they're like, "You can either never get this back ever again for the rest of your life or give us the SD card." And I was like, "No, wait." I was like, "You have to believe me. I don't mean to say tough shit. I just don't have it."
You're like the boy who cried wolf for so many times.
Yeah, no. And so then they're like, "Well," they're like, "Come on now." They're like, "Just give it back." I was like, "No, I don't have it. You have to believe me." And they're like, "Well, I guess we're just gonna have to take these memory cards and sell them." And
That's
dude,
fucked up.
this shit had like every game save I'd ever played, like every Kingdom Hearts game, all the Shadow of the Colossus, 100% Ratchet and Clank files, like everything. And I begged them not to, but they were just like, "Well, if you want it back, just be a good boy and give us the shit back." And I just didn't have it, so like they thought I was lying and I just had nothing to give them.
That's bullshit.
And then I remember talking to my uncle years later and I
So
was
wait,
like,
so they took your PlayStation 2 and memory cards?
With no evidence.
yeah, and memory cards.
Forever,
With no
never give it
evidence.
back.
And never gave it back ever.
The fuck?
Man, wait, what the fuck? Where are you supposed to fucking go?
I have
here?
no
Yeah, I
idea.
think you can throw your thing to get light.
Oh, we already went there. Oh, well, see, I was trying to get over there, but that looked too far.
Well, Here's in the dark.
That's scary.
I think it appears back at the main entrance of the shit, but I'm just gonna go in here. You know what? I'm just gonna die.
Yeah, this is the whole light mechanic is cool, but it's really fucking hard to see. I would have just liked to have one of those little beta male goats follow you around in your Amazonian goat ass, and
Blows
then
glow bubbles at you.
yeah, exactly. Just carry a little bubble baton and like follow you. Continue your story, Dave,
Yeah,
because
Dave.
there was definitely more to the story that was funny.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so painful. It's like real fast. I'm gonna return the last save.
When the fuck was that? Do your move. Do your stomp move.
Oh yeah, if we don't have that, that would be sad. Uh-oh. Corey.
Dave.
The fucking nervous laughter. You went,
Corey. I got bad news for you, Corey.
You know what would make this better?
If I got my PS2 back from my dirty fucking uncle.
No! Stop in place.
yeah.
Stuck in place. And twerk. Okay.
Okay, it's all fine again.
All's fine again. Would you be willing to go back and get it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I like this game.
Tell your story.
I called my uncle years later, years and years and years
Can we
later.
drive this home to the audience? He never gave it back.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like I
no.
call him. I
And
was
your
like,
memory cards.
I was like, hey, listen, I'm a grown ass man now. I still wish I
there's a
had
new
those
area. There's a key
saves.
over there.
Nice. I was like, I know you took my PS2 as a kid, but it's like, I really want that back. There's still games I want to play and memories I have from that I would like back. And I'm an adult, so I'm telling you with my words, I didn't take your shit.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, dude, he's like, listen. He's like, I know that you took that, but he's like, listen, it's all good. He's like, I sold that PS2 and all the memory cards forever ago. And I was like, you are just a bona fide loser.
That's horrible. That's so lame. That's so unfair.
Dude, I'm gonna throw crazy shade right now.
Yeah.
This wife ended up cheating on him and he got fucking remarried anyway. So guess what, you cuckold fucking loser? You don't even need those stupid pictures, you dumb bitch. I wish I had my Ratchet and Clank 2 save, you fucking loser.
I feel like what happened was he knew this, deleted the photos, used you as the fall boy, and then like sold the PS2 because he wanted pot money.
Dude, what a complete fucking shitbag.
Yeah,
like,
that guy literally, he's...
I will never get over that. I hate that.
Dude,
I
that's,
deeply,
like,
deeply
fucked up.
fucking hate that.
To be
So-
like, dude, oh, I sold those. Those were important to you anyways.
to anybody who's ever been like wrongly accused of shit as a kid, it happens sometimes. Sometimes you're fucking guilty till proven innocent and shit sucks.
Yeah, that happened to me. Like,
but it's
that
like,
happened.
it's like, why would you want to keep his fucking SD card over your own PlayStation?
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't
It's
make
like-
any sense.
I think they just thought that I was a kid and I was afraid of being caught like lying or something. But it's like, dude, I would give up anything for to have this back. Of course I don't fucking want your SD card. I don't give a fuck about your nasty, ugly, fat wife who cheated on you.
What a fucking loser, dude.
dude, that sucks. That's horrible. You know what I've always wanted to do? I saw a YouTube video recently doing this, was I want to buy old memory cards and see the kind of games people played.
Yeah, that's just
That'd
charming.
be really like cool, because there are people
Maybe
who
I'll
just
find
sell
mine.
it. Yeah, then I'll find Dave's save one day, and then I'll give it back to Dave. I'd be like, Dave, I was in New Jersey and look what I found.
I'd be like, bro. Well, they were West Coast family members, so we would find it just around here.
Yeah, let's go look.
It probably is in the store that shall not be named, just sitting there for $80.
Have I told the story how I was fired from McDonald's?
No.
You got fired from McDonald's?
Yeah, I
At
worked there as
least
a
not in my
teenager.
presence.
Okay, McDonald's. As a kid, I was in high school. I worked at McDonald's. I remember working there and using my first paycheck to get Bioshock Infinite and being disappointed. But anyway, I was working at McDonald's, and what I would do is when I would make the nuggets, I would dip them in habanero sauce.
They had that available at the McDonald's?
Yes, and it was so good. McDonald's habanero sauce is fucking delicious. So as I was working, I would left and right, no workers in sight, no employees in sight, and then I dip it in, and then I would eat like a handful. But it was so spicy, it would make me fucking cry. So
They fired you for crying?
no. Oh hey, look, there's a shotgun room.
Did it?
So okay. All other staff members, there was solidarity. We wouldn't out each other or anything for eating on the job. And some managers totally don't mind. It's really just luck of the draw.
Yeah.
But the manager that was on shift that day was a fucking bitch. So I waited. I watched her go into the back room where she was super far away. And this dude came up to me. He's like,
please take my shift tomorrow. I was like, no, bitch, get out of the way. I was eating the habanero sauce. He's like, please take my shift tomorrow. And I thought about it long and hard. And I was like, you know what, dude? I'll take your shift tomorrow. Okay. And then I was like, just leave me alone. And I dipped the nuggets in the habanero sauce. And I made it was like the biggest, wettest dip I'd ever done. And I started eating it, right? And I was like, oh. And I was like literally fucking crying. I'm like red in the face. And then I heard the manager come up behind me. She's like, oh, Dave, you're taking this moron shift tomorrow? And I was like, and like there's Lyle, you ever had too much nugget in your damn throat? There was no swallowing. It was impossible.
So you literally did the
No. She was like, are you taking the shift tomorrow? And I was like trying to chew, but it was too late. She was like, turn around and face me now. Why aren't you looking at me?
Oh my God.
And I turn around and literally there's orange crap fucking pouring out of my mouth. My face is red and I'm crying. And she looks at me and she's like, get the fuck out.
Oh my God,
And
what a horrible
And I
woman.
got fired.
That's what you get, you
How
little
did she
bastard.
know that you weren't just leaking meat and crying over the death of your grandmother?
Yeah, how would she not? I should have gone back and been like, how'd you know?
Dave, what did the guy's shift have to do with the story?
Oh, because if I didn't take that, we never spoke to each other. She would have never asked me shit if I didn't take that guy's shift. I was nice one time in my life, and it made her fucking instant transmit behind me. And it sucked dick.
Yeah, I have this theory that karma works in reverse.
Sometimes you're nice and it bites you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the what is it? No good act goes unpunished.
Yeah, something like that. I've heard that
unfortunately,
before.
that's real sometimes.
Yeah.
But you know what? They also say the Lord, beautiful Jesus, works in mysterious fucking ways. Because guess what? Working at McDonald's fucking sucks. And I'm glad I got fired.
Yeah, that's true. I'm glad you got fired too, man.
Thanks, bro. My dad beat the shit out of me for that, though.
That's fair.
You know what, Chris? On a semi-related but less disgusting note.
We need to stop talking about this crap.
No, wait. Okay. This is worthwhile. This is important. All future generations need to know this. Okay. So they say online that like you can make your own sex toys at home by like flour, gelatin, things like that. You can put that shit in the oven and make like basically homemade sex toys, right?
Oh yeah, okay. I've heard
Have you heard of this? Yeah. Okay, and let me tell you, I don't know if I'm just bad at baking and that it didn't work well.
What a great way to start, yeah.
But yeah, one time my family was like, "We're gonna go to the beach. You ready to go to the beach?" And I was like, I'm feeling under the weather. May I stay home, dearest mother? And she was like, yes, my boy. And so they went to the beach. And like the moment I saw the car leave, I hopped out of bed and got all this shit. And I've been reading about it online on my PSP with the fucking HTML internet.
Yeah.
And I got the flour and all this stuff. And we were missing a handful of ingredients. And I was like, well, that doesn't matter. I'll just substitute these with things that are similar.
Yeah.
But dude, as the day went on, baking shit became a fucking mess.
Wait, you tell me you were gonna fuck like a muffin or something?
No, it's like
No.
you basically make like a latex like fuck toy that you fuck. I just want to say really fast that listen, the whole point of my fucking stupid homemade fuck toy story is that I spent all day making it. It didn't hold together. It was a fucking mess. It was melting in my hands. And then I was like, oh,
Then
gee.
I had to eat it.
I was like, what do I even do with this? This is like a disaster. So I was like, all right, the shower, because it's dripping and oozing onto the floor. But then it didn't work. I became covered in orange fucking goo. And then my parents pulled in as soon as they were coming home.
Oh my God.
And hiding it was a disaster. So don't try making those. End of story.
Fair enough. Have you ever been like floating in the ocean for more than 24 hours?
One time a tidal wave pulled me out way past into the ocean. And as a kid, I thought I was really going to die.
Really?
Yeah, has that
See
ever
a
happened to
tidal
you?
wave?
You know, if you swim out too far out, the current can just
That's
pull
like a
you
tsunami,
away.
not a tidal. That's a riptide, you fool.
It's like if you swim too far out from the beach, it can just pull you to the point to where you can't go back anymore.
Yeah.
And they told me that, but as a kid, I didn't listen, and it started pulling me really far away, to where I literally just pretty much thought like, goodbye, everyone I know and love. I'm dead. But then like big waves started coming, and they hit me so many times that like they brought me back.
That's funny.
I got super lucky that day. I was seriously fucked.
Did your parents like notice or?
No. And it filled my stomach up with seawater.
Our plan is working.
They coordinated it.
Now Friday Night Funkin' will never be invented.
Too bad for you.
Dave, enlighten everybody what you did when you first played this game.
My friend years and years and years ago told me this game was very cool, so I made my character look like a like Shrek, and I skipped all the cutscenes, and you can't hit the people, I don't think, so what I remember doing is I would walk against them to push them into the ocean to the point where they would fall off the map and die, and I killed everybody.
What's his name?
Cockmangler?
That's the name of the girl at Friday Night Funkin'.
You don't know that for a fact.
Dave told me.
I've been giving Chris the secret lore. Boyfriend and his true love, Cockmangler.
Oh no, I did not mean to do that.
I remember when I was visiting Newgrounds, you were like, hey Chris, you want to do a stream with me? And I was like, okay. And you were like, just please don't like bring up anything to do with Friday Night Funkin' because people get really obsessive about it. I was like, okay.
Like if you make a joke on stream, they'll like add it to the wiki and shit.
And I was like, I was making these jokes about what all the characters were officially called.
I remember at the time I was supposed to mention I was like no fake names because at the time we were dealing with a fucking epidemic because we joked that his name would be Evan, just randomly.
Yeah.
But then that got added to every wiki ever. I've
wow.
never experienced anything like it.
Yeah.
And I still to this day I see like people who will fight to the fucking death saying they love Evan.
Why can't
Boyfriend
I be
is
in your
Evan?
fucking game?
He's not fucking Evan.
Or
His name-
like, was that what they thought it was?
That's what they thought it was, right? So that's what I live with now. To some people, he'll never not be Evan, and I feel some kind of crazed guilt for that.
All right, real quick. I'm gonna out myself and share a psychopath story. Long ago at AX, or no, not AX. Fucking
Long ago at AX.
No, not recently. Okay, long ago at Too Many Games.
Okay.
When I was a young boy, just going with my friends for fun. I was there, and they had this weird burlesque show, like after hours at the thing.
For children?
Well, no, just for the adults. But it was not sexy, and I was going to leave. But as I was walking back, the auditorium wasn't that full. The burlesque show wasn't popular, and there was a guy sitting in the back, and they didn't have all the lights on. So in the back, it's like really dark. There was a man who was a nice, healthy weight sitting there cosplaying as Link, and his tights were like pressing around his thighs, very strong.
No.
And he's sitting down, slumped down like Goku does when he's dead and upset. Yeah. And I took out my phone because I thought he was really funny looking. And I held up to take a picture. I thought he wouldn't notice. And this is really bad. This taught me a moral lesson. This was God doing this. I didn't realize my flash was on. So I snapped the photo and it flashed, and he looked up at me, and we locked eyes. I just put my phone in my pocket, walked away, and I felt really
man.
Did you catch his boner on tape?
No, I didn't.
Wait, did he have an erection?
No, he just.
Oh, I thought that's where you're going because you were saying it was like beautiful women and he had tight pants. I thought you were gonna say you got his boner on tape.
No, he just had main character vibes, so I wanted to catch him on film.
But also, do you think he had a boner, but he was trying to hide it because he was leaning forward like that?
I think this guy's just depressed.
No, you think he was just miserable?
He had a depression boner.
Yeah, that's the best kind.
He just it's that funniness where it's a guy dressed as a character who couldn't look further from being the character.
Yeah,
and I just wanted to show my
that's
friends.
the link when he fails. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. 20 years
Just
in the
done.
future.
I'm just fucking done.
So I wanted to catch it on film. I
That's
thought it
when
was
Ganon
funny.
introduces porn to Hyrule.
Yeah, dude, I've been jerking off 6 times a day. I thought I wasn't addicted. People said it's not addictive chemically, but I can't stop.
So basically, I think this is a good time for Dave to tell his story.
It sucks, but a while ago, me and Jeff started going to the gym, so I just like loaded up on like infinite protein bars and like peanuts and all sorts of stuff, and ate no vegetables and drank very little water, and got massively constipated and filled with like all sorts of stuff.
Dave, you had like a 4-year-old sense of fucking losing weight. You were like, I'm gonna gain muscles by eating protein.
It was working. I gained a lot of weight. It was awesome, but then not being able to shit is not awesome.
What the hell, Dave? You fucking ruined the story.
Well, how's it ruined?
You skipped ahead. There's so much to this story. I just remember seeing you. You were making like peanut butter protein smoothies that smelled like
that is
crazy
true.
peanut butter.
I mean, yeah, I was doing a lot of shit. I was doing a lot of shit to have this all happen, and like, then it backfired. Yeah, then it didn't work. And so, that sucks. That's how I felt. The dawn of the final day. I was like, I'm gonna fucking explode.
Yeah, so essentially Dave had like a turd that had scratched the inside of his colon that inflamed it.
Oh my
because
God.
he had eaten too much peanuts. Because you can't process peanuts like other things. They're kind of like corn, and I don't think Dave realized that. And again, Dave didn't eat a lot of like vegetables and stuff,
like
so he
almost
was
no
stocked
fruit.
on peanuts and meat. And before that, we went to fucking Fogo de Chao, which is an expensive steakhouse, where we stuffed ourselves with steak. So Dave had a pound of meat along with a pound of peanuts.
Oh, that's right. We did go to the thing. Yeah.
And then he just hibernated one day.
Oh,
And then Dave-
that was not a good time.
For a long time, Dave was like, keep it on the hush hush, but I haven't been able to shit for 2 days. And it's the equivalence of like Play-Doh squeezing between a giant fucking rock. And I'm like, that's disgusting.
Oh my
But
God.
essentially,
It sucks. I had to go with Jeff, and Jeff took me in, and he took me to CVS.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I want to tell the story just getting this. So
You should.
I was like, all right, I've just got to get an enema. It sucks, but this is just got to happen.
yeah, you told me.
This is like a horrible time.
You know, it's funny. When you built it up like you needed to take an enema, I thought I was going to come downstairs. There's going to be feces fucking sprayed everywhere.
No, it's not like that picture that I showed Tom where the guy just sprays shit all over the wall and he's like passed out.
Like, yeah, I thought you'd be on your bed with an ass of shit leading all the way to the bathroom.
No. But, so I went to get this thing and it's already embarrassing.
Whoa.
And I take it up to the counter and the dude, I put the box down, the enema thing, and the guy like looks at it. I'm like, yeah, not a great day for me. And then like he laughs and I've officially de-escalated the situation.
By shooting your enema juice at him?
Shut up! He looks at me. He looks at me and he says, "How did that Super Mario?" I was like,
But that doesn't count.
"No, not like second
Then he
camp."
jammed 2 fingers in you and yanked out the...
No.
Okay.
He said about that Super Mario, and I was like, I looked at myself to see if I was wearing any Mario clothes, and I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, you know where I can get, some like shrooms.
What?
And then I pieced it together. Super Mario is like a drug term for like shrooms.
Is it really?
What?
I mean, like shrooms. Super Mario mushrooms.
This is a doctor?
And I was like, no, I don't. And then he looked down and he was really awkward about it. It's like, that is not fucking fair. I made buying a damn enema not awkward, and you had to ask me for fucking drugs. And I don't take.
Everyone asks Dave because you look like the kind of guy who would be stocking up.
I'm a skinny white guy with long hair. I look like I do drugs, but I don't. I only smoke cigarettes, and
Which is a drug.
well, you're gonna take it there.
Dave, you kind of look like Jesus to me specifically.
Okay.
Yeah, you do look good.
I'm
You
glad.
look like Jesus and Moses mixed together.
You do.
That's my fucking ocarina of time.
It's about to
Sis.
turn into the dildo of pain for you.
All right, so to continue this story about Dave shitting his pants.
Yeah.
But it's not actually what happened.
I had the opposite of that problem, not being able to shit my pants.
Dave built shit in his ass, and you built a phobia. I remember, Dave,
Yes.
you were on like high alert of anything that didn't have fiber in it and wasn't a real fruit or vegetable. You were like, that isn't a real thing. That is gonna cause more problems to my bowels.
I mean, fucking Ivan's like, let's go get McDonald's. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if that's a great idea right now.
well, I mean, it's not a good idea to eat McDonald's, but I mean, most things you can eat. But then you tried doing like this soup thing.
It's a picture of me.
Yeah, that's you after you realize you can't shit.
The furries drew it.
Birdman.
He told us that he had been fighting with his friends. And they
So
had left
basically,
him all
Dave had to
alone.
do a soup diet, and he didn't want to drink any more carrot juice. So
Tom was really nice. Got me all this fruit stuff to take, and it was kind of not the most delicious thing in the world.
My story is, this is at MagFest, like years and years ago at this point. But there's this app called Yik Yak, and that lets you just sort of see like tweet-like posts from other people, but only within a certain radius. So I was at MagFest and I was bored, and I saw a Yik Yak post saying like, if somebody wants to get sucked off, meet me by the crazy taxi machine. And I was like, whoa, that's fucking awesome. I was like, that sounds pretty cool. I was like, I'm not doing anything. I can go for getting sucked off right now. So I go to the crazy taxi machine and I start playing it. I respond to the post. I'm just like, yeah, I'm down for being sucked off.
No, you did not.
I swear to God, I did.
Are
I
you
was
serious?
that fucking horny.
Yeah, I was, and I wasn't seeing anybody at the time, so I was like, this is cool. I was like, this is what living life is all about. So I said, yeah, I would like to be sucked off. That sounds very cool. And they
you
were
said
like,
it very politely.
I was like, please and thank you. Please suck me off. I would really appreciate if you like just gulp the cum out of me.
I would really just love that.
So I go to the arcade place to play Crazy Taxi, and I'm just chilling out. I'm playing it, and nobody's really nearby. And then all of a sudden, like, they said like they'd be there soon in like the little thread there, and the thread's like totally anonymous. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll just enjoy this cool game till my cock gets sucked off. And then all of a sudden, like, you know, people wait behind each other to play arcade games, but all of a sudden there's like this creepy fucking like old dude who's like 60 years old, and like he's way older than anybody else at MagFest. And he's just there, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe he wants to play. I hope they get here to suck me off soon.
Yeah, he does want to fucking play.
And then all of a sudden, I'm like checking the phone. They're like, I'm not seeing any response. I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, what if they're not actually a girl? And then I'm playing the game, and the person's just kind of like licking their lips and like looking at me, and their hand is on the chair.
This is you. This is you waiting for him, Dave.
They're like tracing the outline on your shoulders.
Fucking like fire shooting out of my cock, so I'm waiting.
Dave, how do you do
He said
this?
the old
I
man
forget.
is like fucking revving up his cock. Is
Yeah,
that-
exactly.
That's what you
The
were
old man
saying?
is getting max exceeds looking at me. So I'm sitting there and I'm playing the game very nervously at this point, fucking up all the drop-offs in Crazy Taxi. And the person on my phone, they respond. I'm like, oh my god, okay. What are they gonna say?
Oh, I heard this part. You said you could hardly contain your boner and turn around.
No, that's not it. I could contain my boner. I was getting scared looking at them. Well, like I could see them in the reflection of the game, and I was getting fucking nervous. And then the phone, I checked it, and they said, "I'm here, winky face."
Oh my
And like the old
God.
man's looking at me, and I'm like, oh my fuck, I regret this. I regret this so fucking much. And like I don't know what to do. I'm like sweating. It's like I don't want to be sucked off by an old dude, and I'm being looked at weird. And like the time on the counter is running down, and it's just like really bad.
Time's running out.
Exactly. And then like I don't know what to fucking do. And then all of a sudden they like tap me on the shoulder, and they're like, "Are you done playing the fucking game yet? Like I've been waiting for my turn for fucking forever." And I was like, oh, okay. And then I checked my phone, and they're like, "Where are you?" I'm by the Crazy Taxi machine that's by Dig Dug, and that's the one across from the arcade place.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, thank God. I was like, are you a guy or a girl? They're like, I'm a man, baby. I was like, all right, fuck this. You should have fucking said it to begin with. Fuck you.
You deserved every moment of that.
I do, but yeah, I do.
You do, and also that means you had probably the best game of Crazy Taxi of all time.
Yeah, I don't think
that,
anyone.
that timer really fucking meant like it
That was
really
a real
meant
life
something.
experience.
I've never been like more like awkwardly nervous in my whole life.
Yeah. Are you going to associate Crazy Taxi with that from now on?
Kind of. I've totally fucking learned my lesson.
So every time you play Crazy Taxi, you'll see the silhouette of a fucking old man behind you grabbing his cock.
I'm gonna tell a quick story about PlayStations here on the channel.
Okay.
What about it?
So when I was young, I had a PS1, and it was the best. I played all the Spyro games and all sorts of stuff, like bad Phantom Menace games. And then the PS2 came out, and it looked brand new, and I was like, oh my god.
It was brand new because it just came out.
Yeah, exactly. You read my mind. And so I was like, I need this. So I was like, and if the PS1 doesn't work?
I'll just pour water on it so the PS2 has to work.
So I was, well, I mean, pretty much had similar logic. I was like, if my PS1 doesn't work, then I'll get a PS2. So I went to the PS1 and I went into the little wires. I took scissors and I snipped it so the laser wouldn't read anymore. And then I said, Mom, Dad, the PS1 doesn't work. I need a PS2 now. And they said, what the fuck? You're not getting a PS2. We don't even like that you play video games. You don't get shit. We're glad your PS1 broke. Tough shit. And I was like, what?
Dead fucking on.
The Carmel like punched me in the head. I'm like, now I have no fucking PlayStation. This sucks.
You've got good parents.
I love that. I love that context. I love that. You like.
I was dumbfounded. I couldn't even believe
you
it.
smash your PlayStation on the ground. You're like, Mom, I broke it. She's like, well, I didn't want you playing it to begin with. Oh no. That sucks. That's funny though.
I was a dickheaded kid. I deserved it. But like, I remember just being like totally at a loss.
I love your stories, like Brick Fight and now this. You're so dumb.
I was a kid.
You know what's really funny is we were in the car talking about this stuff, and Dave was like, "I'm really excited for Death Stranding," and then Jeff was like, "I'm more excited for Gears of War 5." And Dave just looked at me, he's just like, "You're an actual fucking." I don't know why.
That really pissed me off. Jeff only said that he knew it would piss me off.
Oh yeah, he would talk about how
he was smiling out of the corner of his face.
He would talk about how Joker is a twink and likes to take it in the rear. And that would
Jeff,
really set you
Jeff
going.
loves to say that like the main character from Persona 5 is like a gay man who fights for gay pride.
What's wrong with that, Dave?
Choose your next
words wisely.
Listen, Joker can fight for gay pride, but Jeff is saying it in a derogatory, slanderous manner.
You're saying something Jeff can't even defend right now.
There is this thing called a calculator that people said would never be around at this time and readily available. That is readily available
all
at
teachers
every
are so
fucking
wrong
time.
about that one. Like, you won't have a calculator on you at all times.
He's
and
like, you will always have a calculator and you will always understand
guess
it
again,
and you will not.
I'm gonna go back a conversation here and tell
Go
a
ahead,
story
go
real
ahead.
quick about like
You
games
have 3%
and
of your bullet's going to explode in
Yeah,
your hand
no,
if you
fuck
shoot a
that.
single thing.
on like the subject of like just being in trouble and shit like that. I know when I was younger, right, and Sly Cooper 2 was like new.
Sly Cooper.
I was in trouble and I had my PS2 taken away.
No.
And my mom was always really nice. My dad was like, "You'll get your PS2 back in a year." But my mom would be like, "Here you go, play it when you know." Whenever.
Dad's like,
Dude,
fucking
there's
at
being
work.
strict to build character, and then there's just being an actual psychopath.
But-
like,
Yeah.
But the whole thing is, so it was a half day, but it was reversed. Like we got a notification saying I would go into school later in the day.
yeah.
So my dad got up. He was like, "Goodbye, my son. Goodbye, my wife." Mwah. And he like went to leave, and I was like, "Yes!" And I ran and I hooked up the PS2 and I started like Sly Cooper and then I literally hear the door shut and I turn around. It's my dad. He's like, "Oh," he's like, "I forgot my fucking files for work, you little bitch." And I was like,
You're like, wait, Dad, I want to be inside.
that was bad.
Oh, Dave,
What's up?
tell your story. This is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk
Yeah.
about the story.
Well, we're sailing the Grand Seas. I guess it's a good time.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun swimming. So,
We were walking to Wawa and we were talking about just like perverted shit we did as kids and just like shit we like perverted shit we brought to school.
yeah.
So I've told Corey this before, but there was a time where my family got like a photocopier thing
Yeah.
and I was like, "Wow, I've got a great idea." So I took like a volume of Naruto and photocopied when he does sexy jutsu and turns into like a naked girl with clouds covering his tits and pussy. And I was like, "This is fucking amazing." And I went full crafts and arts. I got a hole puncher and I punched a hole and I took like some little string from my mom's like string thing.
You're a fuck.
And I wore it around my neck and I was like, "But this is naughty." And I tucked it into my shirt. And so I'd be at like there, I'd be sitting on the bus and kids would look at me and I'd look at them and I'd just pull it slightly out of my shirt and they'd go, and they'd be like, "That's amazing." I'd be sitting in class and I'd be like, "Hey," and kids would be like, "Yeah." I'd pull it out and they'd be like, "Sexy jutsu." And then like I was at lunch and I was at the cafeteria and I like pulled it out and this kid was like, "Whoa, that rocks. You're gonna give that to me." I was
No,
like,
he did it.
"No, he did." I was like, "No, I'm not. It's mine." And then he like went out to the security guard. He's like, "That guy's got a porn necklace on." I was like,
Porn
the security guard gave it to me. He's like, "Dave,
Yeah.
you have a porn necklace on?" I was like, "No." And then he pulled a string out from around my neck and he saw it. And he's like, "We're going to the principal's office."
Jesus Christ.
And like they called my parents and my parents came. They're like, "What is this?" And I was like, I found it. I found it on the ground. It's not. If I had told them it was from Naruto, I would have never been able to read it again, and it would have ruined my life. It would have sucked. I was sweating bullets though. I was freaking the fuck out.
You use like Mario 64 sounds.
I love using Mario 64 sounds in cartoons. There's like no better way to do anything.
I had an idea for the next cartoon to use like the door opening sound effect. The toot, toot. Ow, fuck.
Sometimes Tom picks the comb out of my fro and fucking laughs at me.
Yeah. Yellow cum man.
Dave, you should tell people about fucking the Bill Nye thing. Basically, Dave was calling out Bill Nye on Twitter.
I was not calling out Bill Nye. What is it? No, I was just making a tweet, like making like a criticism of somebody, but I wasn't naming any names because naming names is rude.
Yeah, it's rude.
I was just expressing my opinions, but then like everybody wants to play 20 questions. They're like, "What is somebody being mean? Is it Bill Nye?" And like that is so stupid. It's like, yeah, it's Bill Nye. It's Bill Nye the bastard guy. And they're like, "I knew it. I knew you people and hurts people for fun. He's a sadistic freak."
Freaking no! I knew it!
And like this girl came in, she's like, "Really? Does Bill Nye really do that?" And the other guy was like, "Yes, here's all the stuff he's done that's horrible." I'm like, "What are you doing? Bill Nye's done nothing wrong." When I was in school, I would just like get really bored and doze off and imagine that like hot alien girls would like come and like destroy the roof and kill everybody, but take me and give sex to me.
Give sex to you. We bring sex. And then they open their vaginas. And then a weird fucking snake monster comes out and strangles you to death.
Also, I'm gonna tell a quick story.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Talk about bricks and brains. When I was a kid, you know, we had like a fence next to like the neighbor's house, and like I had this like squirrely kid neighbor who was always just, I was like, let's do something fun. And they're like, no, I don't know, Tommy. So he was on the other side of the fence, and I was on my side of the fence, and me and my dad had recently broken down like this old structure in our backyard, so we just had a pile of bricks.
Your dad had a breakdown.
He meant to break down and beat the shit out of me. Nah.
There we go. We're maxed out.
We
Only 1,000?
remember the other kid was outside, and I had a pile of bricks. I was like, hey, I've got a fun idea. Oh, let's have a brick fight. Yeah, brick fight. He's like, no, brick fight's a bad idea. Please, no. And I was like, yeah, it's time for brick fight. I started chucking bricks over the other side, and none of them hit him. He dodged all of them.
You're an asshole.
And then he picked up one of the bricks, and he tossed it back, and it had perfect aim, and it hit me. It slammed me right on the top of my fucking head. And I was like, oh.
That's what you get, you fucking asshole.
Oh, brick fight, no. And it's like, that was like the perfect age to learn such like a beautiful lesson.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, not to throw human-sized bricks at
You
people.
completely deserve that.
In every regard, I know. It's kind of fun to think about every now and again.
It's fun to think how I got. Oh my.
It's unfortunate you can't play Brick Fight anymore.
I know.
I never wanted to pay Brick Fight after the one time ever.
PC culture gone crazy.
Yeah,
PC culture canceled Brick Fight.
Yeah. PC culture cancels Brick Fight.
No, God, why make that the same button? God, you stupid fucking game.
PC culture will spread lies to make sure Brick Fight doesn't happen anymore.
They're holding Brick Fight down.
They'll rally.
It's like the one good thing they've ever done.
There he is. There's my little fella. Mr.
Honestly, I have a lump on my head that I think I've had ever since that
Yeah,
day.
Dave, but then you find out when they're alone in a room that they're throwing bricks at each other.
Yeah, they're like, this time they make laws like, Brick Fight is now officially illegal, yes! And they cheer and they make all their YouTube videos. Nita Sarkeesian is just like fucking like jumping up and down. And then they're like,
pelting her with bricks.
And then they're in the hotel room at night. This other pile of bricks. They're like, all right, now you go to the other side. Brick Fight.
Do you want to hear a funny story?
Yeah.
So when the movie was announced and like the remake had been made, Dave was losing his fucking mind and just would not budge. He thought that it wasn't just an incompetent person at the lead of the Sonic thing. He was thinking it was like this big master plan to sell more copies. And I'm like, Dave, you are an idiot.
Whoa.
This was made by like a fucking studio who has done. Who's doing it now? I'm trying to think.
I want to say it's Universal, but I could be totally wrong.
Yeah, it's like Universal. It's like, what do they have to gain or lose from a fucking Sonic the Hedgehog movie? It's already like weird property anyways. And essentially...
Yeah.
God, dude. Sorry. If I get to one life, I'm gonna have to save. So basically, Dave was like, no, it's a conspiracy. It's all set up. And he was like getting on Jeff's fucking nerves. So Jeff got pissed and drew a comic and showed Dave. And it was basically Dave's like, it's a conspiracy. Then Jeff's like, Dave, you're a moron. It was an incompetent person who didn't understand. And if you saw the movie, it had like Gangster's Paradise and it looked like dog shit.
Yeah.
And then at the very end of it, he showed the Rotten Tomatoes score and it was like a 35. And he was acting like it was like the second coming of Christ, like it was going to be a big deal. Yeah. If there's anything Jeff can do, he can make little Stickman comics really funny. If you ask, he'll probably show it to you.
This reminds me when when Final Fantasy 13 first came out, I was super excited, and I went to go get it, and I had my mom drive me to the store to get it, and when I went in to finally buy it, she took a look at the cover, and saw how the lightning was dressed on the front. She was like, "This game is disrespectful towards women," and then she's like, "You can't play this." I was like, "What?"
Good.
But yeah, years later, I was like, "Mom, you saved me. That game was ass. You helped me."
And we got in this Uber today. What was really funny about this Uber is...
This isn't that weird. You make it sound weird.
It is weird.
It's not weird.
It is
weird. Chris will be the judge. Chris will be the judge.
Well, it's the context that matters, Dave.
No, it's
First
not.
of all, it's weird for me because I'm antisocial when it comes to interacting with any human being. Anytime I get into a
Go ahead.
Uber...
Try and make me look bad. Go
I'm
ahead.
not trying to make you look bad, but
Try to make me
me,
look
Jack, Dave, and Adam all got into this Uber car. And the first thing Dave starts doing on his phone with volume like 90 is playing like a Malaysian dub of Vegeta moaning. Like he was going, it wasn't like, it was like, it was like literal, like almost sounded like gay sex was being played. All it needed is the Bow Chicka Bow Wow music. But Dave says that's completely normal to do in an Uber car.
Okay, now
that's not normal.
Now that you've made me look terrible.
I didn't make you look terrible. I told you exactly what happened in the car today.
So we're in the car, and what do? I start browsing Twitter because we're in the car, and I ain't got nothing to do. And so what do I see on Twitter? I see this thing where it's like,
Don't play your audio over.
It's a clip of Dragon Ball Z, and they're like, wow,
There isn't a single fucking sound going on in the car, and you are playing moaning sound while the guy is driving.
I didn't know what it was gonna be. The Twitter.
You could have just heard the moaning sound for like 3 seconds and been like, oh, this is weird to
Dave,
play.
this sounds really autistic.
No, the Twitter caption said, I can't believe Vegeta sounds like this unedited in this dub. And I clicked it open, and yeah, it's a guy, and he's going
You
like...
let it play for the full 1 hour and 20 seconds.
It's a guy, and it's Vegeta, and it's like after the Vegeta fight, and he's going...
No, he's going... No, he's going... Oh.
Well, yeah, he's doing that a little bit.
Oh, he's like, starts getting louder and louder,
Dave,
like he
you're
has a
fucking...
big...
What? No.
Yes, no, you're...
But then Corey's like, Dave, why'd you play it in the Uber? And it's like, oh, what? There's the gay sex penalty. I gotta pay the gay sex tax. Fuck you. I can listen to any Twitter video
It's
I want.
not that. It's like out of respect for like the person. And then what's funny is this all ended up going to like our like Uber star ratings.
Oh, fuck.
And apparently that matters, but we were all looking at our Uber ratings.
I was saying that I have a perfect Uber rating just about, and
but
Do
he
you
didn't.
really?
He doesn't. No.
Oh, you're like a little
that is
liar.
A false.
No, I checked it. I as an Uber rider, I have a 4.92.
That ain't perfect,
That's
bro.
what I got, and I'm terrible.
What?
Yes.
What do you mean what do you do that's so terrible? What, you
They close their
grenade
legs
launchers
apart.
with acid in the Uber?
No, I've got a 4.2, and I've definitely like done some annoying things to Uber drivers.
I have a 4.92.
Ooh.
That's 0.08%
Yeah, but
off
Jack
from
has a
perfect.
5.
Dude,
What?
he's ridden like 2
Yeah.
Ubers in his whole life.
No, and he's ridden probably a lot.
You
And
ain't
also
no damn Uber, Donald.
Adam, yeah. Dude, Adam has like 97. He's got 2 more than
Dude,
you.
for the last 6 years, I did
Adam
not.
has 2 more than you, Dave. Let that sink in.
Because Adam doesn't talk at all. All I do is ask my Ubers if they like Super Mario Bros. Or not.
And then you
What's
play
fucking
porn
wrong with
audio
that?
in the background and see if they pay attention.
No, I don't. That wasn't to fuck with him. That was just, I was just watching it.
Why didn't you just like turn it to like volume 20 and put it to your ear?
Because if you act weird about it, then it's going to be like, oh, sorry, I was watching gay porn. I have to hide my phone.
No, you don't.
But it's like, no.
It's less audio for everyone in the car. It's literally like when you go on a subway with
you're-
like these people, and these people are blasting their fucking music over their goddamn
If your
sticks. They have
dad
their
walks into your
headphones hanging over
room,
their chin.
if your dad walks into your room and you immediately minimize what you're watching, he's gonna assume you're watching porn.
Yeah, but if you have it blaring at 90% of the volume, he's gonna know you're watching
And then
porn.
I'll be like, well, Dad, take a look. It's just Vegeta in the Malaysian dub moaning like he's having gay sex. Yeah, I'm not watching anything weird.
All I'm saying, Dave, is I'm antisocial and I can't be put in these weird situations.
What?
You always put me in these candid situations like we're on a fucking TV show. I don't like interacting
my life's
with
like
my
a
Uber
fucking
drivers.
movie. I'm watching Dragon Ball Z in the car.
No, it's not like that. You're sitting there and you're like, okay, the hypothetical. What if a knife came through the window and cut your head off to our random Uber drivers?
No, all I do is say, hey man, do you like Super Mario
That is
Brothers?
not what you just do. You do other stuff. We've been in a few Ubers now where you've put me in weird situations
No,
with
but
these people.
the Ubers make it weird first. Okay, the only
You make it weird by bringing up different things and changing topics.
Okay, no, okay, I know what you're talking about.
And you also like gaslight, and it's funny when you gaslight them, but it's also awkward because I'm like, am I going to die tonight? Am I going to end up in a ditch because Dave is being weird?
What Corey's talking about is we had that Uber that one time that picked us up from the movies, and he was like, he wouldn't stop talking to us even though we tried to be quiet. We're just like, what are you guys watching?
You could have driven us off into like a fucking like old York Road and killed us with the way you were talking to him.
No, but listen, okay, Chris,
Yeah.
this guy, he was like, what'd you watch? And Corey's like, oh, we watched this movie. And the guy's like, neat. And then we're all quiet. And the guy's like, well, have you seen any other movies? And we're all quiet, and we're like, man, oh man. And Corey's being nice. He's like, well, there is a movie about a guy who made a nuclear bomb that exists. And the guy veers off into like crazy territory where he's like, you know, the government they legally have to warn people about what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And so they use a loophole by putting it in movies to tell you what's going to happen in the future. He's like, so that nuke movie, they made that to let us know that we're going to get nuked.
See what I said, but there's like a video going around of like a bunch of people murdering androids, but then the last android fights back and kills like 16 Japanese soldiers.
I'll get to that. This guy's going off crazy shit. So this guy immediately says we're going to get nuked.
I know, but I would just be like, cool, and be done with it.
So then,
I would not egg on him.
So then what I did was like, I went along with it where I was like, I was like, dude, I know what you're talking about. You're 100% right. I was like, I've seen those movies too. I was like, I saw the COVID movie before it happened on Netflix.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. And then they removed it. And the guy was like, oh yeah, I saw that movie too. Yeah, they removed it. He's like, I knew COVID was going to happen before it happened, just like you. He's like, I saw that Netflix movie and yep, they removed it. They removed it to hide it when I lied. He's going with my lie.
Yeah, you're gaslighting him. That's scary.
Well, yeah, because he's already being I'm trying to make him feel like an idiot for saying stupid shit to me. But
that's terrifying.
But then the guy's like, hey, guys, he's like, you know what? He's like, I saw a video where in Japan, they set up these robots that can think for themselves, but then they became too strong. And when they tried to turn them off, he's like, the last robot freaked the fuck out and killed all the Japanese guys. And I was like, yeah, man. I was like, that's crazy. I was like, if R2-D2 tried to tickle me, I'd kick him onto the ground and beat his ass.
You're gonna get beat up by one of these guys.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm just agreeing with him.
No, Dave, all I'm saying is you put these precarious situations are scary.
How come he gets to tell me stupid shit and I can't say stupid shit back?
I'm just saying they're gonna catch on. They're gonna be like, oh, this little kid's fucking with me. They're fucking with me, and then they're gonna beat you up.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna turn around and stab us with scissors.
Oh, there's that first health on the ground.
When there's some freaking scary weirdo who's like going off about like the nuclear bomb is being like projected through movies, it's like cool. Okay.
Fuck. A little bit more on the Uber thing, just a bit more.
Yeah.
There was this funny shit where like that guy was telling us about crazy shit. He was talking about like in 1999 he saw like a video about how to fold $1 bill to predict 9/11.
Yeah,
he was saying crazy shit. He was telling us that like 9/11 you could predict it because in the Matrix that one guy's birthday was on 9/11. But the best thing he did was he said that like he was like, yeah, he's like Disney. He's like, they've gone crazy with the propaganda. He's like, they're doing crazy shit. They're making people believe insane shit.
He's right.
And I was fucking with him. I was like, dude, I was like, power to you. I was like, fuck Disney. Fuck them for all that stuff.
You're gonna get killed. I'm just saying.
I was messing around with him where it's like, if a man wants to kiss another man, power to him. I don't give a shit. But I thought that would piss that guy off. Me like saying like, well, I thought that he would feel like empowered me saying that.
But he was a homophobe.
I'd see more. Yeah, I thought he was a homophobe. So I thought I'd see him say more crazy shit.
Yeah.
Like I thought he'd be like, dude, he's like, if I ever let a guy on my ass, fuck that.
Yeah.
But no, instead he's like gays. He's like, I don't care about that, man. He's like, fuck that. He was like, what pisses me off? He's like, in Star Wars, he's like, they got a room where there's a woman and she fights 15 dudes and she beats all of them. And I was like, what? He's like, dude, he's like, you put me in a room with her? He's like, one punch to the head, bam, she's down. I'm like, you mean Rey the Jedi?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, she's a woman though.
I think the funniest part about that, after all that discussion, is we were like, okay, what kind of Star Wars do you like? He's like, what's that new Star Wars?
I'll tell the part. Like, he's talking about he could beat a girl, he could beat a Jedi in one punch in the head. And I was just agreeing with him where I was like, yeah, man, I was like, you're so right. I was like, I'd grab her little fairy wand and break it in half and just beat her ass dead. We could tear her limb from limb, you and I. And he's like, yeah. Like, literally, he was nodding so confidently where he's just like, well, yeah, duh. Yeah. But then, yeah, like Corey was saying, we're like, so what's your favorite Star Wars? To try and make the conversation normal again. And he was like, he's like that one. He's like, where they fight the guys. I mean, Corey, look at each other like,
5?
Yeah, so what, like Star Wars 5?
He's gonna like, get up, dude. He's gonna get up. Dude.
And the guy was like, no. He's like, not. He's like, what's? He's like, what movie is 5? We're like, that's the one where he says, you know, I'm your father, and he gets his hand cut off. He's like, he's like, I don't remember that. We're like, okay.
What are you talking about? I like those old practical ones.
So then we're like, do you like the old movies where the guys win and not girls? And he's like, well, if I had to pick a favorite movie, he's like, it'd probably be, he's like, it'd probably be the one where they're like in the casino.
That sucks.
And we're like,
The Last Jedi.
Yeah. We're like, so you like the new one, Star Wars 8? And he's like, oh, is that what it is? And we're like, yeah.
Yeah.
And we're like, why do you like that one if it has the stuff you don't like in it? He's like, oh, well, he's like, you know, it's like It's got like good special effects.
That's really annoying.
We're like, you are a bona fide.
What
the hell's your deal?
That's what we should have said. But we were just like,
I'm like, by the way, you couldn't be the
Actually,
Jedi. She
we-
would hack you into a 50
no, that's
billion
not
pieces.
true. That's not true, Dave. You kept leading into how bad The Last Jedi is. You were like, I love that part when they were in the casino for like 5
Well, I was
hours
lying
hanging
to him.
out with a bunch
I was
of
like,
fucking barn animals. That was the best.
once you said that was his favorite, I was like, yeah, I was like, that's the best. I was like, dude, they ride on the animal and they jump over the tables. And he's like, oh yeah, do they do that? And I was like, you just shut the fuck up. Just go away.
my
Just
God.
piss the fuck off.
Yeah.
I'm sick of you. You aren't even consistent with your own shit.
Yeah, he's
Also,
like,
wait, the final thing I'll say about this guy was he told us for fucking forever about going on Facebook in like the 1990s and not predicting 9/11 and Japanese robots. They said the robots are gonna take over the Earth. And then I said that if robots took over the Earth, and I was just joking, I said I would go outside where it's raining so the robots would get rained on and they'd stop. And then he looked at me and he literally called me dumb. he said, you a stupid white boy. I was like, I'm
really?
stupid.
he's like, he's like, don't you think they would have planned that out? That was robots can probably swim.
Yeah, he's like, you stupid, man. He's like, you think the robots wouldn't upgrade themselves to be rain resistant? He's like, you stupid, man. I was like, fuck you.
Dave, you're dealing with a real ass.
That's why if you disagree and be like, I disagree, I think The Last Jedi sucked. You turn around, black, bam. No
kill
eyes
me in one
anymore.
punch,
2
just
black
like
hollow
Ray.
holes. Otto's pretty cool.
Otto was a real character. He felt real.
He was a
dude.
real class act.
He was a real motherfucker.